Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another gifted upload. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a while, but we back on the channel. More NBA content will be coming out specifically on YouTube. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting as far as the locker room. Again, the locker room is a platform where we talk about basketball on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I'm going to begin to stream these things. We talk about it on Twitter and we focus on everything that deals with the NBA, and we also do film spaces, which I love. We break down game film live, and we talk about certain plays that we see in games, if it's basically regular season or even playoff games. So that's what I've been on these past couple weeks. Also, I don't like recording content without my haircut, and look at your boy. First off, in the Kobe, right? That's number one. But number two, look at you know what I'm saying? The cut is nice. I feel clean. I feel great. So we here. But I'm going to get right into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is the Deandre Ayton piece. To me, that is a significant deal. Again, this next CBA to me is going to be in major question only because the Suns treated this DeAndre Ayton thing as if they could just use him as an asset. And if someone offered him a max, then outbid them, then cool. But they never showed any intention of like really valuing him, which could hurt them down the line. I do think it was smart from a financial play because again, they didn't have to overpay for Aiden, which does come out good. But I'm more so thinking about the relationship and the human aspect of the deal because now DeAndre Ayton has to basically act as if he's happy because there was a clear disconnect between him and the coaching staff, especially after the game 7 where they absolutely folded in historic fashion. He was benched early, and even in the post-game comments, like his coach had some very damning post-game comments to where it seemed as if there was friction between him and Chris Paul. So to me, I don't know what's going to happen. They can't trade him until January, but even then, there's a strong chance that because Aiden got paid, what's to stop him from saying, I don't like this organization. I don't like the way that they treated me early on just to max me any way I want out. He could easily request a trade in January. So because of that, I don't exactly know what's going to happen. But the biggest thing about this trade, again, from the Nets side, is they're not going to be able to get Kevin Durant anymore. At least I don't believe, because first off, the Nets are not that interested in acquiring DeAndre Ayton. That's number one. But number two, because of the long-term contract that he's signed to now, it makes it a lot harder to move because the sign and trade deal is now done because now he's signed. So now there's really nothing they can do with that. And at the same time, they would have to flip him to a third team. But he's at such a high salary, it's hard to imagine them flipping him to a third team and then getting a whole lot of assets back. And then on top of that, trading everything else for Kevin Durant. So in my opinion, the Suns deal is dead, which I'm happy about because in my personal opinion, um, I never liked the Suns package for the Nets just because you're not getting a high level All Star back. They're not going to trade Devin Booker. You're giving up a lot of your like depth, Mikal Bridges, all this and all that to get KD. But from the Nets perspective, that's not what they want. If I'm a Nets fan, or if I was the GM of the Nets, if I know that I'm trading Kevin Durant, obviously Kyrie Irving is going to be gone off of the team long term as well, right? So from my perspective, you would want a all-star caliber player that you can really bank on growing and becoming something in the league, number one. And then you want a whole lot of draft capital to support that for Kevin Durant, like a whole lot, like a whole bunch of pick swaps, um, unprotected picks in the future, all of that. That's what they should want, right? But obviously we don't know how that situation is going to pan out. In my personal estimation, I believe that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to play their final season in Brooklyn. And then after the season concludes, they will then find a way to trade Kevin Durant. That's what I believe. Because if you're looking at the moves that they've been making a lot of win now moves. They've been adding wings and other veteran players to their squad. And I believe that if Kevin Durant and Kyrie play, that team is competitive enough to be able to compete in the East or the West. Personally, I still wouldn't pick them to win the title, but you can make an argument for that team being up there. But it all comes down to the man of the hour, Ben Simmons, which is funny because again, dating back to the Harden trade, which I always said in the moment, I thought the Brooklyn Nets had lost simply because they gave up all of this draft capital to get Harden, and now you're trading James Harden for basically Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, Ben Simmons, who didn't play a single game for them this year, and some picks. To me, I thought they lost that only because Harden's value was like not that high at the end of it, but ultimately, if you're Philadelphia, the fact that you traded away Ben Simmons, who wasn't going to suit up to play another game and was hurt, and like all of that, for James Harden was a dramatic improvement. And as you're already seeing, they were able to extend Harden to a nice team friendly deal. He took $15 million less to try to win basketball games with them, and he enabled them to make the roster around James Harden and Joel Embiid better. So, in my opinion, you got to look at that and you have to like come in thinking that because of them doing that, it's going to make things harder because Ben Simmons again hasn't played, and they cannot get a lot of value back at all because Ben Simmons is on the roster and they can't acquire another young star on a rookie max because of Ben Simmons, because there's a rule that stops them from doing that. So in my opinion, it's too complicated to work this trade out in the offseason before the season starts. So I think they are legitimately going to play one more season. And then in this season, they have a potential to win a title. And then Ben Simmons can play basketball. We can see where his value is at. And then in the offseason, they can have a true fire sale where they, trade Ben Simmons or Kevin Durant. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but I do think Brooklyn wants to try to keep Kevin Durant if they can. I don't think that they're going to settle and make some bad trade for KD because they understand KD is their last trade piece if they want to stay relevant and in the mix for winning titles. So to me, this is a delicate situation that the Nets have to be careful with. But quickly, because I didn't really talk on this team at all in the Deandre Ayton sweepstakes, I feel bad for Indiana because from my perspective, I would have loved to see Ayton in a completely new situation. This guy was drafted #1 overall, and before Chris Paul came to the team, he showed real signs of being a decent shot creator for a big man out of the post. He was a pretty efficient post scorer for the most part. He could rebound and do multiple other things compared to setting the screen for Chris Paul and rolling it, and that being his main form of offensive production. I felt like him in Indiana would have been great because he would have been like the best player. More plays through Ayton probably would have been ran, and then him and Halliburton in the pick and roll on that roster with more spacing. I thought that would have made the Pacers super interesting to watch, and I would have been really cool with that because then Ayton would have been put in a situation where you can like project and show all of your skills on this team right here. And then we can finally see exactly how far Ayton could develop and really be in the NBA. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. Suns matched it, so that is what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you though, like this whole Kevin Durant situation is gonna make it very hard for me to rank these teams. But sometime this month I will be doing a tier list of teams in the West and the East as far as teams that I think are the most deadly after this offseason. We're going to have to see how that goes. But again, I appreciate everybody that clicked on this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. My socials are all up there. And make sure to tap in with the locker room, man. I'm telling you, it's a very fun place, vibe, and atmosphere. I appreciate all the people that be pulling up regularly. We be having fun on there, man. And like talking basketball is always fun no matter what, but we do it different. We can talk about basketball and have like these commonplace casual style debates to where it's like who's better, who can do this or that. Cool. We do that on Saturdays. But the film spaces, there's no bias, there's no agenda. You straight up watch the film and you see what is someone's fault or what someone does excellent. So we're going to stay consistent with that content. And again, make sure to follow me on all my socials. I got some more content coming that's even not NBA related, but we back. This video, we are back. But I'll catch you guys in the next gifted upload. Peace out, people.